All right, cool. Yeah, there we go. The switch has been flipped. Hello, everyone. How are you
Hello.
on this Monday? How's it going, Trevor? How you doing?
It's going pretty well. Body sore from skating this weekend, but I'm in one piece and drinking coffee, so we're all good.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna age myself, or maybe not. I saw you on IG, on the IG, your post on
Hmm.
IG. I saw this really funny tweet. Somebody was like older millennials say the gram, and then millennials say Insta, and younger millennials say IG or something like that. I forget how it went, but
Okay.
it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard them all. I don't know. I don't know which one I should be using. So that's a good guide.
Me either. I tend to switch it up. Generally between actually I say them all, I guess. I think I say IG the least though. I tend to say
I probably say the gram. I probably never said the gram, I
I
think.
always say the gram. I do it for the
Okay.
gram. It's all the
Now,
gram.
is
Yeah.
that according to this tweet? Are you using the age appropriate word for your age category then?
Probably. I'm 38, so I think that puts me at the top of the like older millennial, right?
I think that, yeah, that sounds about right.
hmm like I remember the first version of Instagram, I made like a clone of it
Oh
because
yeah.
it was very simple then. Then you could actually build Instagram by yourself. The first version of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I remember we
Um,
got a question about building an Instagram clone a
exactly.
while ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I remember that like the that was one of like the and I'm sure you can still find tutorials out there that are like build an Instagram clone,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's a little more scope nowadays.
Nowadays for sure, but I think to get that premise across where it's more like you're going to build a timeline where you can display different people's photos. You know what I mean? Like that's yeah. Yeah, yeah.
One,
Yeah.
one that I've seen a lot these days is building an Airbnb clone.
Yeah.
There's like, and
Or
and as a result,
Netflix.
like people are coming out with Airbnbs for everything.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
my buddy had an idea about building like Airbnb for renting out your garage space
Ooh.
for like people parking their car or people storing their
Needs
stuff or
space.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And it turns out there's like three of those already.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you could do one for like I think this already exists too, like sharing like sporting equipment, like a bike or
Hmm.
I think I saw that like mountain bikes and road bikes and stuff like that. Somebody had
Wow.
like an app for
Yeah, I
that.
hadn't I hadn't heard about that, but we
Yeah.
are in a sharing economy, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, oh yeah, well, thanks everyone for joining us and welcome to Orbit, where we actually talk about GraphQL. Trust us, we will get there. We get there every Monday, and we got some pretty neat stuff lined up.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow we managed to get around to it. Yeah. Let's see. I think yeah, I guess we can get into the list. I almost kind of want to share my tweet from this morning. I think it's pretty funny. I think the world should
Yeah,
see it, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
All
Little
right.
little comedic relief maybe.
Yeah, we'll start it off with some
Get the Monday
comedy.
off starting properly.
Yeah, yeah. So let's copy this link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. So this morning I was playing with one of my cats, and my son decided to come to Zelda's defense. Zelda is the cat, and he laid me out. Just laid me right on the floor. So we'll watch it in this video. Here I am dancing around like a silly person, messing with the cat, and then here he comes, and bam, and I'm down.
Oh
It
my
hurts to
gosh.
watch. It really hurts to watch. He just stands there. He's like, yeah.
He's got good form, man.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a really good hook.
Oh well,
Some,
that'll teach you. I don't think cats were really the pet meant to be played with all that much.
yeah, for sure. Well, she likes to have fun. She sits up on the top of that like little pet. I don't even know what you call those things, like the stand, the play thing. And when you walk by, she'll like paw at you. So
Oh,
Donna
okay,
was,
okay.
yeah, so Donna was playing with her, And I was like, ooh, I want in on this. And I went over there and started
Big
messing
mistake.
with her. Big mistake. It's the biggest mistake I've made today. Yeah, and then Miles was like, I'm not putting up with that. No, yeah, you can't mess with my cat. Ran in there,
Oh,
laid me out. One shot. Tough kid. He's only 4. Maybe he'll be a
efficient.
boxer. Yeah.
And do you have a Nest Cam?
Yeah, it's a Nest Cam, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Really,
love
really
them.
handy for capturing those moments.
Honestly, we use it more for like capturing awesome moments than we probably do for anything else. Yeah. 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 It's really cool. But yeah, like yeah, we like the Nest cams. They're really cool. Very, very convenient. The notifications and stuff. It's cool. I don't know. Someone could probably hack it though. Oh, I'm not gonna go into this.
No, no,
It's like a whole thing.
no.
Yeah.
We gotta keep it on a light
Yeah, yeah,
and
you don't want to
happy
follow.
level. You just got us there. Let's keep us there.
Let's stay there. Okay. All right. So let's get into the first thing. Let's actually go into some GraphQL stuff. So I'm going to switch up the order from what's in here a little bit. I'm going to start with this one, Gatsby WordPress one. So
Ooh,
yeah, because this is pretty cool. So for any of y'all Gatsby users, the Gatsby source WordPress plugin is now in beta. It's also what powers the Apollo blog, right?
that's
Let
right.
me drop this link into the chat real quick. Boom. And then I'm also going to self-promote the blog here and drop that link in the chat. But yeah, this is powered by the WordPress plugin and Gatsby. So yeah, yeah, very cool stuff. I'll let you speak about this. Kind of what's new? What's new between this version and the other version?
For sure. I'm also just going to post the link to the Gatsby
Oh, cool.
blog post on the subject. It also comes. This blog post includes a video
Whoa.
by Tyler Barnes and Jason Ball, the authors
Yeah,
um, of this plugin. I paste a link to the YouTube video in chat as well if you'd like to watch that.
very
Highly
cool.
recommend checking this out. These guys are just all stars, really. And what they've done is pretty incredible. So this is an update to the existing WordPress or Gatsby source WordPress, um, but it comes with a ton of quality of life improvements, like the ability um, to update your schema when WordPress content changes.
Oh wow.
Um, this is like a huge boon for local development where when you change something in WordPress, you don't need to restart your development server to source that content. WordPress and your Gatsby site are talking to each other the whole time. So when something on WordPress changes, it notifies your Gatsby development process and and forces a schema update. Just adds new nodes to your schema. It's really like this is doing stuff that I didn't even realize Gatsby could do,
Wow.
which says a lot for the lengths to which these developers went building this. It also it also implies support for incremental builds with WordPress, which was never possible before.
Okay.
Um, Incremental builds were a feature
Yes.
for other sources like Sanity or Contentful, but now we have incremental builds for WordPress, so that's pretty awesome because WordPress is an open source content management system. It's not you don't need to pay anything for it.
Yeah, that's huge. And like,
Yeah,
do we see improvements on the blog? Oh wait, we're not hosted through Gatsby Cloud, so that wouldn't affect us. Wait, you can still turn it on with Netlify though, can't you?
it's not really incremental builds the same way. It's not true incremental builds. The
Ah,
Netlify thing is basically like you cache your Gatsby cache folder, and as a result, that speeds up subsequent builds. But
got it.
um,
I
it's
could have
not
sworn
exactly
Jason
the same.
Lengstorf did something about enabling incremental builds on Netflix.
Yeah, so he did he has a blog post about and I think the blog post is titled Incremental Builds, but in the content of the blog post, it's mentioned that it's not like
Oh, got it.
the same as like Gatsby Cloud incremental builds.
Got it.
Um,
Yeah.
if we were to enable incremental builds on Gatsby Cloud, we'd be talking about like 25-second build times.
Wow.
It's like shockingly fast.
Yeah, that is a huge step for also like really large content sites to move to Jamstack and Gatsby. It's like a big
Mhm.
piece of that. It's like if I have thousands of pages, I don't want to deploy that every single time, something small changes that
Yeah,
doesn't
you got it.
affect the whole site. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing that this source plugin brings is previews from WordPress framed to look like it's within your Gatsby website template. And that's another amazing thing that it requires some deep level of knowledge about the WordPress um, about WordPress to really accomplish this. It combines um, it's very, very cross-cutting sort of feature. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is another one that really enables you to really use WordPress with Gatsby in a production setting.
Got it.
Yeah, so all in all, this is an outstanding advancement for
It's
people who
huge.
develop WordPress with Gatsby. Of course, this implies that all of your um, that all of the interactions between um, your WordPress data source and displaying that content on the front end happen using GraphQL. So you write GraphQL queries to express your WordPress data requirements, and that interface is really nice as well. It's using they switched from kind of like a custom schema design to using the same schema design that a popular WordPress plugin called
Wow.
WordPress GraphQL
Yep.
is using.
Yeah.
So
Wow. So that means now
improvements there as well.
yeah, you could start plugging in other WordPress plugins and have those all just be part of your graph. That's
Yeah,
huge.
exactly.
It's
So the WP GraphQL repo has a ton of these kind of like bridge plugins that you'd have advanced custom fields installed, and then
yeah.
to add those advanced custom fields to your graph, you just install WP GraphQL ACF, which is like a plugin that just does that. It serves as a bridge between other plugins and your GraphQL schema.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So, oh man, I wonder is WooCommerce still big with like WordPress?
Yeah, so there's also
Is-
GraphQL WooCommerce or WP GraphQL
That's what I was gonna
WooCommerce.
ask. Yeah, I figured there would be. That's
I
so
actually
cool.
built a website earlier this year using WP GraphQL with WooCommerce.
Oh, WooCommerce. I said Moo.
That's all right. Just
Yeah.
flip that M upside down. You're
And
good.
you got it. Yeah, but it's AI. Well, I haven't used that in 6 years, 6 years ish. So yeah, a long time. But yeah, I used to use it a lot. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and that's another piece of software. It's primarily being built by one individual, at least at the time that I was using it. It was being maintained by one individual
Yeah.
who goes by Kid You Not on GitHub, and um, shout out to him. Just an amazing amount of dedication and work goes into these things, and
Oh, he
you
does
know if you,
WooCommerce by himself, right?
he does WP GraphQL WooCommerce.
Got you.
Um,
I was gonna say because I thought like
he,
WooCommerce was like a big thing now. Like you pay for it. It's like a whole
oh
team of
yeah.
people. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
paste the link to that. I'm gonna paste the link to the whole WP GraphQL org on GitHub. If you are a WordPress developer and you want to
this is cool.
interact
Yeah.
with your WordPress site using Gatsby, This is the way. I'm telling you, you won't
Uh,
regret
yeah, I just bookmarked
using
this.
this
This is
using
really
this
cool.
sequences.
I mean, this is something now. This is like a whole thing, right? And so like I'm glad that I added that to the list because look at what we dug up and discovered today. I didn't know about this. This belongs on Orbit. It's just WP GraphQL in general. This is
Yeah,
super
it definitely
cool.
does. So I'm glad we're touching on it. And shout out to Jason Ball. He's like I said, a
Yeah.
lot of this work for the majority of the time that it's been around has kind of been existing in
Yeah.
darkness, kind of a thankless
Yeah.
bit of work. Now we're starting to see this pattern being picked up and used, and the amount of attention and support that he and the other developers and maintainers of these softwares have been giving is nothing short of amazing. So yeah, big shout out to those folks. And yeah, I mean that it's through these technologies that we were able to build our blog the way that we did.
Yep.
We simply wouldn't have been able to do that without the work of these fine developers.
Wild, wild stuff. Very cool. Oh, that was weird. Am I getting an echo? It's gone.
From
I don't know where it was from, but it's gone now. So who cares?
okay,
Yeah. Okay, so oh my mic might be a little loud too. Sorry everyone if my mic was too hot. Okay, so yeah, let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing now? Oh yeah, the next thing. Oh, but before I do that, because I always forget to do this, if you have seen something and you want to share it with us, please drop a link in the chat and we'll check it out. Yeah, because I always end up saying that at the very end of the show, and it's like you have no time to find it. Like maybe, you got to figure out what it was, remember where you saw it, All right. So now we can go on. So actually, it's funny because like going from WordPress to this next one is actually kind of fitting as well. So I have been talking with the peeps at StackHawk, which is a really interesting company looking at AppSec, but for GraphQL. And so I'm going to share a link to this blog post that I read that I thought was really interesting. And I can't wait to see like more of kind of content that they create. And I think they're actually going to do a mission briefing. I think they're going to come on and we're going to look at like what it looks like to secure and unsecure a GraphQL API. Because like you forget that like yes, GraphQL is different than REST, but like you're still susceptible to a lot of the same issues. Um, and like what do you call it, XSS scripting and all that stuff, and like people injecting SQL tags into inputs and stuff like that can all still happen through GraphQL. It's not like magically goes away. But so I just went through and read just to kind of get more of an overview. And it's interesting because like they say like, hey, you shouldn't have to turn off introspection. Like you should be able to have introspection on. And if you just have a secure API, then like it doesn't matter. And so this tool actually uses your introspection API or request to get all the information about your GraphQL API and then test it. So it like runs all the tests against like all of the resolvers within your API, I guess. But pretty interesting. So again, I'm just kind of lumping it all in here. I just read through the post pretty quickly. I need to go through and give it another read through. Yeah, but I'm very interested to figure out more about this because and security is important, and sometimes it sucks and it's hard to do. But yeah, so anyway, go through, check this out. There's a lot of really interesting information. Like you don't have to go through like the tutorial part unless you actually really want to. Like maybe you have an API you want to figure out, but just what they're talking about through these uh, couple paragraphs in the beginning. I don't know, interesting topic for me. So yeah, I figured I'd share that as well.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like one of those things that I don't know if anybody else out there um, can empathize with this, but security is often when I'm building an app, security is like the last thing I think about.
Yep.
It's like the thing that I consider before shipping. I'm not proud to admit this, but I consider myself more I mean, the evidence would show that I'm more of a builder. I'm just like concerned with building, 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 getting the feature done,
Yeah.
and then considering what the security implications of this feature are, and then shipping it if I'm comfortable.
Yeah. I think a
Um,
lot of people are like that. I'm exactly like that. And while sometimes I think a bit more about it, like we're using Sequelize in that project for in Journey, and they do a lot of stuff to prevent like SQL injection and stuff like that already, like it's built into it. But like, yeah, it's like, sometimes you skip over things or you might not even be aware of all of the like I guarantee you there's a lot of security issues that I just don't even know about. Um, that that yeah, could probably screw me over big time. But it's like, yeah,
mhm.
because I don't focus enough time on it. It's like you said, I feel more like a builder. But I feel like a lot of people are like that because, like, I don't talk to many other developers that are like, yeah, I started a new project and, I set up my API and the first thing I did was like, I made sure that it was secure. Like, I had it, like who does that? Like, it goes,
Yeah, but
yeah,
like I would argue that it's a matter of like really good accessible tooling uh, not being well known.
yeah,
Like I would compare it to like site performance
yeah,
before Lighthouse.
yeah. That's a
Like
good call.
people who were into like optimizing site performance before Lighthouse were running these what do you call them? Not audits, but like they were running some kind of capturing data in Chrome
Profiling.
Inspector, profiling, that's the word.
Yep.
And then like with that they were able to intuit some like come to some conclusions about your site and like how you should address these problems.
Hmm.
Um, and that was it always seemed like some kind of arcane knowledge to be able to like parse look at a profile and come up with something actionable.
Yep.
With Lighthouse, the tool does all of that parsing and recommendation for you. You run Lighthouse audit and you get a list of things that you can do.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm actually running
and
Lighthouse now against StackHawk. Sorry, StackHawk. I hope it comes up pretty well.
nice.
But yeah, I mean, because everyone at home can now see exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, yeah, exactly. Boom. So here we go. Well, I don't think this is like, you gotta figure out a lot of what's going on. Let's try this. Let's try the Apollo blog. Are you ready for
Sure.
this?
Yeah, yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah, let's do that. This is a site that we could speak about. Like I can't speak about a StackHawk site. I don't know what's going on there. But the point being is that yeah, before Lighthouse and getting these, this is an audit or a report, right? Boom, look at this. Nice. That's awesome.
Not bad.
No,
Some
it's
room
not
for
bad at
improvement.
all. Yeah, there's always room for improvement, but this is not bad at all. But the thing that we're going to notice here is that like it's like giving you hints about what is going on and what could be changed and like how to fix things. And like this is so handy, but before this existed, it was like you said, it was like arcane knowledge. Like not everyone knew it. You had to have like someone who was like a performance champion essentially.
Right.
And that's wild to me. And then
Yeah.
before frameworks like started really putting performance into it. So like honestly, a lot of these scores are derived because Gatsby itself bakes performance like into its core architecture, right? Like the whole thing is built around trying to build performant web pages. So it's like pretty interesting. But yeah.
Mhm.
But point is, it's not something I want to have to worry about, which is why I like StackHawk because like I'm interested to see what kind of information it brings up. Like I envision a lot like something like this, like it's a report and it's like, hey, these resolvers might need to check them out, So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Can't wait to see. Hoping I think they are coming on stream. So yeah, check that out. Oh,
That'd be
and
really,
the,
really interesting. I'd love to hear from them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Apollo.dev. So I'm putting the events calendar. Link in the chat, go.apollo.dev/events calendar. Yeah, and so we have actually streams lined up until mid-August now.
Amazing.
A lot of really good ones. So
Putting
yeah,
in work, dude.
putting in the work, lining them up. So I'm very excited about these. Yeah, and I hope that everybody checks them out. But yeah, as a matter of fact, they should be ticking by at the bottom. Yeah, securing GraphQL APIs. I just saw it. Yeah, so it's already set up and on the
Nice.
calendar. Yeah, all the upcoming streams will be ticking by at the bottom of the stream layout. So yeah, okay, let's see. So yeah, that covers that. Sorry, my voice is getting a little scratchy, yo. Ah, okay, we're
Drink some
back.
water.
Yeah, actually, I
We
should
won't blame you.
drink some. Thank you. It's not just water, it's water with BCAAs.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta get those amino acid
I think
branch.
BCAA is like the British Columbia Automotive Association.
Are you serious? Because it's also branch chained amino acids.
Yeah, BCAA. Oh, my alarm! It's time to wake up. Um, yeah, it's like AAA. Wait, AAA is a thing in America, right? Or is it
Yeah. No,
double
yeah,
A?
yeah.
Yeah,
Triple A. Oh, I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but yeah, it's like that's it.
yeah. So it's BCAA is like the British Columbia um, version of that.
Okay. Which is
I'll
probably
spreadsheet.
American Auto Association or something, probably. Auto
Think so.
Association of America, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, but yeah, yes. Let's see, what else? What else we got? Oh yeah. I got a whole list right here. Oh, this one is pretty cool. So, speaking of um, Contentful and paying and yeah, and WordPress, Contentful has updated they have a new community edition, which is a free forever tier.
Ooh,
Yeah, you can have a bunch of different entity types, like 48 different entity types, which is like enough to do a decent amount of data and data relationships. And now the GraphQL API is free too.
that's huge.
That's big news. That's really cool. Um, so yeah, so Contentful just became usable for a lot of projects for free,
Hmm.
which is really cool.
Good for them.
Yeah, right?
Good for us too.
Yeah, good for everyone. Good for everybody all around. Yeah,
Puts a little bit more. Yeah, it's. I like seeing this competition being stoked. Like we just talked about how the new WordPress Gatsby source kind of like shakes up the game.
yeah.
It means that you don't need to rely on things like Contentful or Sanity, formerly paid tools, to access this type of workflow. And then now Contentful comes out and Spila and that now they're stepping up to the plate,
Yep.
saying actually, you don't need to pay for these great tools. So I hope they stay in business.
Does Gatsby Cloud have serverless functions?
uh, no, but
No, right?
Netlify has serverless functions. The way that Gatsby Cloud works is it builds your site, but it
Oh,
doesn't
so you could still
host your
deploy to
sites.
Netlify.
Yeah, you do. You they don't have any hosting
That's right.
uh, option. So yeah, you host on Netlify or where or Zeit or wherever.
So let me check out the pricing here. Okay. Hmm. Because I was gonna say for like smaller stuff, it'd be really cool. You could still do Contentful Netlify for like most things. But I was wondering if you
Yeah,
could also sneak in like incremental builds and preview. But you do get builds in preview, but you don't get incremental builds, it looks like. at the free
Yeah.
tier, but I also wonder if you'll be building things that are that large under that kind of free plan, right? Like, that you would necessitate incremental builds.
Right, right.
But
Um,
the Gatsby Cloud preview with Contentful free deployed to Netlify is a pretty good workflow for a lot of things, a lot of
yeah, for
situations.
sure, for sure.
So yeah, if you're a digital agency out there, maybe some a combo to look at,
Hmm.
or like open source projects or things like that. If you're a digital agency, you probably want this one.
Yeah. I'm not a digital agency, so I can't confirm, but I'd have to imagine
Yeah.
if I were a digital agency.
Oh yeah, because you can only
Maybe.
build like a single branch here too. That's the other catch.
Yep.
Interesting.
But if you're using this for like preview primarily,
Doesn't matter.
then that should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
The,
they really do a pretty good job of like drawing that line between the paid and the free. Like
yeah.
the paid really does feel like something desirable, but it is pretty expensive, I gotta say.
It is. I mean, it's for a professional, but like if you are a digital agency and you're doing a lot of these things and like
You could spare $100 a
the
month.
$100 a month is well worth providing this user experience. That's actually like
Sure.
really cheap, right? Like otherwise you have to set it all up yourself. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which is not cheap. That's how I would always, when I was at Major League Soccer, I used to, my best argument forever of like getting services and third party integrations and like things like that approved was whenever the price would come up monthly, I would rough estimate how many hours it would take for me to
Yeah.
accomplish the same goal and then multiply that by like breaking down my salary like per hour. And then I would be like,
Mhm.
well, you could pay them this amount to do it, or you could pay me this amount to do it. So which one do you
Exactly.
prefer? Not to mention that's not even a fair estimate because the amount of time I'm not spending working on it, I'm actually working on other stuff. So it's actually like, you know, but yeah,
Hmm. It's taking time away from your main like critical work.
exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that would always be. But people, I don't know what it is about dollar bills. Go wonder when people really like enjoying seeing saving money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like their dollar bills
Yeah,
for
they do.
sure.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so that's cool. But anyway, that was a slight derailment. Contentful, free. That's the free for community. That's the message here.
It's
All right.
good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always kind of discounted Contentful just because I didn't want to, just for side projects. Like I felt like it was too limiting, and I didn't want to fork up cash for side like silly little side projects.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to check them out,
Yeah. You have
I
to
think.
reconsider that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, I was uh, maintaining my CrossFit gym's website for a while. It's a Gatsby site. But I'm going to
Hmm.
tell the person taking it over now that they should probably move all of the data, like the content, into Contentful at this point.
Smart.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So the next thing, oh yeah, next thing coming up is pretty neat. I have not gotten a chance to listen to this yet, but I'm going to either listen to it later today or tomorrow morning. I'm excited about this. But founder and CTO of Apollo, Matt, did a podcast um, with InfoQ talking about like essentially data modeling in the enterprise and how GraphQL plays into that. And so if we look right here, it has like a couple of the key takeaways so you can see if you're interested in listening to the podcast or not. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I can't wait to listen to it. And
Hmm.
yeah. A data graph. Yeah, data graphs. I feel like that's something like we're not talking about enough at Apollo. Um, and we should be more. Like the idea of like what like the single graph and why it's important and what it does for you. There's like so many benefits. I should write a blog post.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess like from a personal level, none of the projects that I work on ever get to the point where I'd consider not using a single graph because they're all pretty like small in scope.
yep.
Like I couldn't imagine like why I would need to consider not not employing that pattern.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like when you're talking about like bigger organizations with multiple teams working on their own, data, um,
Yeah.
data requiring services, then it really becomes a a talking point.
It really does. And like there's like certain like it's interesting. Like there are certain cases where yeah, it just makes life so much easier to have those domains just clearly defined and broken apart.
Hmm.
But you don't want the clients to know anything about that. From anything connecting to this graph, should be a single entry point, a single graph, something that's explorable through the entirety, but then under the hood, that becomes very hard to manage, as you said, as you grow in size. Teams get isolated, they're not as aware of what other people are working on. It just creates like a lot of churn that gets hard to mitigate. Like even if it's all within like the same repository, right? Because it's the same graph. So if it's like, constantly getting all these pull requests and issues opened on it across a bunch of teams, it's not, it's just that the workflow starts to break down there. So being able to just have that like domain driven kind of design approach and, breaking things off, like you said, around different teams or products or like whatever it is. Yeah. But then,
Yeah, true.
yeah, but you want the whole world to just see one graph, you know,
Ideally.
ideally. Or if you're integrating with like other graphs, like,
Mhm.
right? Like graphs that you don't control.
Yeah, and that's kind of I think that I remember a few weeks ago we talked about that mesh
Yes.
um, technology, which I think is like in line with
Yeah.
that worldview.
Yeah.
Like let's like speak one common language across all applications.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So this is just something that I thought was interesting. I can't wait to listen to this later because I am
Hmm.
very steeped into the community side of things. It's also good to be aware of kind of like the enterprise side of GraphQL and what's happening in that space as well. I don't want to become too disattached from that either, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that was awesome. And then
Will
the
be a good listen.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait. And then the last thing that I got, which I'll be sharing every week until the second week of August, drop it in the chat here, is GraphQL Summit, dun, 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 which is coming up now, very soon, basically 2 weeks away. It's July 30th, 31st, and August 6th and 7th. 4 days of conferencing, but not full days, because why would we do that to you? That would be god awful. Yeah, and yeah, it's so it's just like a couple hours each of those days, and a lot of cool stuff, talks, panels, networking rooms, little chit chatting, hanging out. We will be there. A lot of the Apollo core team will be there. A lot of the GraphQL community. It's not just Apollo, like it's just GraphQL Summit worldwide. It's about all things GraphQL. So a lot of the GraphQL community will be there as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a really good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It is free, so you don't have to pay. Registering just like makes it easier for you to navigate the conference. So we use like this app called, I think it's Socio is the name of it. But regardless, like by registering, you get the links to all these things. So then it makes it easier to get the links to like the different, or like figure out the schedule for the talks and do all that stuff. It'll be there day of, but long story short, you should register. Oh, because it also gets you a link to the Discord, to the chat. So
That's the important part.
that's the real important part. Like if you want to come chat with us, please register. Otherwise, we won't be able to. Actually, that's not 100% true. I will also be on Twitch because we will be streaming the event over Twitch. So you could chat with me there. but I would really love if you register and come chat because there's other things involved with registration too about like some of the topic rooms that we're going to do and some other stuff. So it does help. Yeah, so register if you haven't already.
Better.
Yeah.
And what's good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah, you might end up like me this morning. I'll send Miles after
Oh,
you.
can't put that on anybody, man.
Yeah, no.
That's no one deserves that.
No one deserves that. That was so funny. Uh, that's
Oh
amazing.
man. Well, yeah, that is it is going to be a really good event, and I hope to see lots of people there. And if you come across Kurt or myself
Oh yeah.
at the event, let us know that you're from the stream, and we'd
Yeah, absolutely.
love to say hi.
Yeah. That's a really good idea. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, we should do like something like something to like so we know who's from the stream. I'll think of something. Yeah, like we can like add something to like our display names, like in Discord or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Stream Monster.
Yeah, there we go. That's awesome. I think that's it for me. I am out of links. So we'll let the chat just kind of marinate for a minute, see if anyone else has anything. Um, Trevor, I think you're good, right? You got anything else?
I'm all good. Yeah, I spoke for I got all my thoughts out on the WordPress GraphQL stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously a topic that I'm pretty passionate about, and
yeah.
yeah, I feel content.
All right, cool. Then yeah, then we'll just sit and I think that's about it. So I'm just gonna kind of go through some of the upcoming streams. So we got StackHawk. We've got Jerome Hardaway from Bet2 Code is going to be coming on talking about that
Awesome.
program, which, in case you can't decipher from the name, helps vets get into coding, and they teach GraphQL. It's part of their curriculum, so that'll be really cool. We've got, excuse me, we've got Twitch coming on. Twitch coming on to be on Twitch. They're going to talk about how they're using Apollo clients, which is really cool. And Apollo's own Ben will come on for that one as well. Yeah. So yeah. And then let's see what else we got. Oh, this is one I'm pretty interested in. Uh, Brian Douglas is going to come on, and we're going to look at using GitHub Actions to push your schema changes into Apollo Studio.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped on that one. I see like a lot of cool
Mhm.
things that you could do with that, and I'm really like trying to work through this ahead of time, this workflow, because like it'd be really cool if like on per PR you could deploy a variant of your graph, but then you would
Mhm.
also have to have it like spinning up somewhere so you could like, if you wanted to like run it and test it. So I'm pretty interested. There seems like a lot of cool things that you could do there. I'm not sure that it's beneficial enough, but I'm gonna look at it regardless. But either way,
Right on.
yeah. But
Either way, gonna be a good stream.
good stream.
Brian's a great gonna be a great guest,
Yeah,
and
I can't wait.
all four of those streams like that's quite the outstanding lineup. So I can't wait personally
Yeah,
to catch some of those.
we've got even more. I'm not even done yet. So actually, Stefan from Contentful is going to come on towards middle of August, and we're going to talk about building React apps with Apollo Client and Contentful's GraphQL API. StackHawk is coming on. We're going to look at securing GraphQL APIs. Um, I think that's about it. But yeah, but that's enough. If that ain't
That's a
enough,
lineup, dude.
yeah, if that ain't enough, I don't know what is, folks. Oh my God, Shruti Kapoor's coming on, and we're gonna take her Dev Jokes GitHub repository and turn that into a GraphQL API.
Oh, okay, sweet. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, lots of good stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah,
So cool. Well, with that, I'm gonna go because I'm starting to sound like a frog anyway. And yeah, I think we're
that's totally fine. Yeah,
yeah, I
man.
think we're
Pleasure as always, and
always. Should we
I hope
raid someone?
everybody in chat has a great week.
Yeah, seriously. And come join us because some of these streams are this week. So yeah, come join us. And then do we want to raid someone or do we want to just hop off this morning?
Um, Up to you, really. I'm down to just to end it here.
Yeah, I got a
Um,
long day ahead of me today, actually. So, yeah, I'm good to just jump off here. We'll call it. We'll give you all your day back. We won't dive into anybody else's stream this morning, and it's all good. Yeah.
all right.
All right, cool. All right. So then, yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you later. See you later, Trevor.
Take care.